Welcome to the Wall Street Systems video training program for PCS Express. Today we're going to learn how to book an intermodal inbound load on PCS Express. Booking a load is the first part for creating loads, dispatching them, and enter them in the payroll system. When you are setting up a new load, you have the options to select between truckload and intermodal. For today's training purposes, I'm going to show you how to book an intermodal load. Within intermodal movements, we can book three different types of loads. Inbound loads, which is any load container being moved from a port terminal or a rail to a company or other distribution point. The container may be dropped or unloaded at the destination point. Outbound load is the export of a container from a company to a rail or port terminal. And crosstown, which is a one-way movement between a rail, company, or any location. These moves may involve containers, dry van, or chassis. This type of movement is usually an empty movement to reposition the equipment. Once you have selected the type of load you want to book, the load booking screen will appear. This screen displays all the information for a load and provides access to all the features available for working with the load. The toolbar at the top of the screen accesses features to working with the load. Displayed here, we can see the load number, load type, and load status. Next, you will enter a customer name, and any important customer and system messages will display here. Enter the reference number provided by the customer. In the Pickup At field, you will enter the location, rail or port, where the equipment will be picked up. Provide the ETA if available. If you have the notification when the container is going to be available, insert first the container number. Make sure you put in the 4-digit alpha, followed by the 6 numeric digits without spaces or dashes. If the customer requests to input the check digit, please do it so. Also, enter the type of equipment that is being moved. Be careful when selecting a container, because the default type for a 53 is for a van. Make sure you use 85 as type for a 53-foot container. If the container is being taken back to CSX Cleveland, insert it in the Terminate field. Click the ellipsis next to the Notified field and click Yes to notify the load. A new window will appear to verify the information is accurate. Change the last free day and add notes if necessary. Then select how you're going to move this load, whether it is a live unload or drop load, before assigning and dispatching a driver. Next, we're going to add a consignee by double-clicking the Add field under Stop. Once the stop info window appears, you will notice that consignee is selected by default. Enter the consignee information, including the stops, dates, and times. Then select or type the company's name. The companies in this list come from the master location listing, found in the Express main menu under Lists and Locations. If you select a company and press the Insert key, then you can edit the information of the existing customer. If you can't find a company in the list, you can press the Insert key on your keyboard and the information can be added to the master location listing. Add contact information if possible. This information will be used when notifying who is picking up and delivering a load, including dates and times. You can also provide a status notification available for the customer, shipper, or consignee. If there is an appointment number, check the box next to Appointment Required and insert an appointment reference. Enter any note concerning the customer's load, then save it. That will update the stop information for the dispatch. If the container is being picked up and delivered back to CSX Cleveland, then you can leave the Pickup and Terminate fields in blank. You may not know the chassis number until the container is available for pickup. If you have information about the chassis, make sure you choose the type and the pool where the chassis is being picked up and terminated. In our example, we see that the driver is picking up the chassis at AMX and returning it to the same location. This section of the screen should be populated as necessary. This information will print within the documentation provided to the driver or carrier assigned to transport the load, and it will allow you to search a load based on a particular vessel group of containers coming in. Bill of lading is typically required by the customer that will show all the dispatch paperwork. Enter a release number when provided. Enter temperature for refrigerator freight, weight, number of pieces, and the seal number. Under commodities, make sure that you enter the UN number for the type of hazmat prior to quote and dispatch a load. If a UN number is not listed, contact the safety department to confirm and approve that the load can be hauled. For this example, we are going to choose freight of all kinds. You can add any notes in this area. For example, if we're going to drop and pick up another container, you will enter the container number that is going to be picked up. This will allow us to search for the full container and the empty container at any time if there was a drop and hook scenario where we were paying for a round. If you are responsible to bring back the original container because of per diem reasons, then you want to use the drop load functionality to come back and pick it up later. To rate a load, you're going to click this calculator icon or press Alt-R on your keyboard. A new window will pop up. Often the rate is entered manually by selecting the source manual, rate by, usually flat, rate amount, and discount percentage if any. You can add additional accessorials, which are charges that are in addition to freight transport charges, such as driver detention, loading, and fuel charges. Accessorial charge codes and rating matrices are created in System Setup. Any of these charges can be customized by contacting our billing department. To book a new accessorial, double-click the Add field. A new window will appear, and there you will select your office number, the accessorial charge code, rate, and the units to be billed, whether it is a flat or percentage rate. If you have another accessorial charge, then enter it. For example, if you have a chassis use of 2 days for any chassis coming out of the pool, then you will select the chassis use. Chassis charge will be used if you are charging the customer to pick up a chassis out of route. Also, enter the rate in days units for the chassis use accessorial, then save it. Once the load is booked and you close out of that, it will appear in the dispatch manager list. If the customer is set up for a freight tracking, it will show as a freight tracking. In the dispatch manager, you will see the load that was recently booked. Within the dispatch manager, you will see the loads marked on different colors. You can duplicate loads by opening the load, click new icon, and select duplicate load. In the next window, you can enter how many copies of the existing load you want to make with the option to copy reference numbers, post to freight tracking, and copy images. For additional help on PCS, click this icon. Press the F1 key on your keyboard, or feel free to give us a call and we can schedule a more detailed training session on PCS Express. That is the basics for entering an inbound load. Thank you for joining us today for the PCS inbound load booking tutorial.